Say I go do anything where you want, cause I really want to get so close to you. I don't mind at all. I don't mind, I don't mind at all. What's I look say? We gon' make a family, yeah. Me and you and me, we gon' make a family, yeah. Oh, we gon' make a family, yeah. Me and you and me, we gon' make a family, yeah. Oh,
yo, say like I'm now by size, now so love, now by fitting. I wake up, sleep, now you know me morning greeting. Me promise now to take you around the world, Asia, America, and Great Britain. I show you love, people say I they forced to you. I love you, so I for day close to you. I appreciate you, love and care. You so caring, now that's make I propose to you. I love you, ma, so no fear, ma. Not only you, baby, nobody else, ma. So come close, baby. Mwah. You love, now me love, I don't care where they say. Woo.
say then they talk, then they talk, then they talk, then they say now me nobody forced to you. Say I go do anything where you want, cause I really want to get so close to you. I don't mind at all. I don't mind, I don't mind at all. What's I look say? We gon' make it
100% say it's a cure, manicure, pedicure. I gon' give you all the cure. Whenever I can there with you, faces and keep frown. Even if they frown, we gon' still run the town. I call you me queen cause you deserve the crown. We gon' crawl till we star, baby like Chris Brown.
Say then they talk, then they talk, then they talk, then they say now me nobody forced to you. Say I go do anything where you want, cause I really want to get so close to you. I don't mind at all. I don't mind, I don't mind at all. What's I look say? We gon' make a family, yeah. Me and you and me, we gon' make a family, yeah. Oh, we gon' make a family, yeah. Me and you and me, we gon' make a family.
Alright, welcome back to the Epic Morning Show. So just last week, at the start of last week on Tuesday, the International Guarantors them kickstart the meetings them with parastatals them state security agency and the APC and the government. We know the moral guarantors then be coming after the 2023 elections for resolve the issues them. President Bio of course called for the intervention, and we see this latest delegation was led by Her Excellency Fatuma Jallow Tambajang, who are the former Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. We lead this delegation of the International Moral Guarantors. Them we include ECOWAS, the Africa Union, and UNOWAS. They meet with the leadership of the Saloon Main Opposition Political Party, the APC. They meet with the Office of National Security, ONS. They meet with NCRA. They meet with ECSL, Parliament, and of course the Speaker, plus the leadership of the main opposition, APC. They meet with the APC leader, Parliament, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, and other members them of the main opposition, APC in Parliament, and call on MPs them of the APC for return back na Parliament for take them seats in Parliament and take part in activities, parliamentary activities then moving forward. But we also see a meeting just at the end of last week with President Julius Maada Bio and government entirely in a status. Usai the Vice President, Honorable Mohamed Jule Jallow, be brief the moral guarantors and President Bio on the meeting we will lead on behalf of government with the main opposition APC. Usai say them and the APC to agree for say 5 out of the 8 resolutions them of the agreements of national unity don't be fully implemented. But there's still lots of issues them the APC raised during the meeting with the moral guarantors them. We get for those electoral reforms them in appointments of the ECSL chairman, winner Edmond Alpha, and other issues. We get for those census and the proportional representation system. We know the President Bill defend the PR system during the meeting with moral guarantors them and say it is the right way forward. And according to the Vice President, he say most of the world, the United Nations, for example, thinks the PR system are the best way for go with regards to elections them internationally. He said they'll lead many delegations them, and the best electoral system globally accepted as of this moment gets for the PR system. But waiting now the outcome, the activities of the moral guarantors them wouldn't visit Salone during the engagements them just last week. We will dive into this morning here on the Epic Morning Show. Stay with us.
On the town, I call you me queen cause you deserve the crown. We go crawl till we slap baby like Chris Brown.
Say then they talk, then they talk, then they talk, then they say, I mean, nobody forced to you. Say I go do anything where you want, cause I really want to get so close to you. I don't mind at all. I don't mind, oh, I don't mind at all. What's I look say? We gon' make a family, yeah.
Introducing Honorable Abdul M. Lansana, former MP for the SLPP. Good morning, Honorable. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to the listeners and viewers out there.
So, as I mentioned earlier, just at the end of last week, the moral guarantors then we also meet with government na status, usai the Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julia Jallo, be brief the moral guarantors them and President Julius Padabio on the engagement where it lead on behalf of government with the opposition APC with regards to the resolutions them and the tripartite committee recommendations. Let's just take the briefing where the Honorable Vice President we actually make during that meeting day just last week, na status with President Bio and international moral guarantors them.
Led the government team to engage the moral guarantors together with the All People's Congress Party. Your Excellency, yesterday, when we arrived, given the mandate that was explained by the moral guarantors, which is they are here to assess the state of implementation of the Agreement on National Unity. On that basis, we took the Agreement for National Unity paper, which contains 8 points. And in my presentation, we went through those 8 points. And then unanimously, together with the APC party and us, we agreed that out of the 8 points that are outlined for implementation, 5 of those points have been completed, 3 are ongoing. And out of the 3 points that are ongoing, we have made tremendous progress. We have made tremendous progress in the implementation of those ongoing points, and most of which are reforms, including electoral reforms. In addition, Your Excellency, the APC presented a 10-point document, a 10-point supplementary issue paper to discuss. Out of that issue paper, we realized that the 10-point issue paper that they presented contains 2 broad pathways. One is process issues, which are relatively administrative issues that they had problems with relating to administration. That is either at the secretarial level or at the standing T level, and also few content issues. Those 10-point issue paper that they presented, and we agreed to provide concrete steps to address some of these issues in front of His Excellency. I will just use the opportunity to highlight few of those issues. One was electoral reforms, that we agreed that current electoral reform processes are already in Parliament, and that we encourage them to work speedily to go back to Parliament and continue working and debating on those issues. One single point that we discussed lengthily was the electoral system. In the issue paper, they said that they reject the proportional representation and that they want the first past the post as is most order in civil society people said. I used the opportunity, I never wanted to do that. As you know, I'm a very modest person, but I used the opportunity to tell them that I have worked in several United Nations electoral systems, including the biggest electoral body of the United Nations ever formed, that was in Kosovo. That I told them that I have worked on elections in 14 countries. And I told them that today, even in the West African sub-region, the most popular electoral system is proportional representation. And I told them I have not only worked in elections, and I have written scientific articles on elections, and they could go and look for them. That I was here in 2002, supported by the EU to come and provide technical assistance to the Chief Electoral Commissioner, Walter Nico. I told them, based on my experience that I've seen around the world and in the region, electoral systems are not chosen by political parties, they reflect the overwhelming social and political dynamics of a country. And I gave them the reasons why proportional representation is the most used electoral system pushed around the world by the United Nations, by the EU when they engage development partners. And I told them also, I made reference to your speech in the House of Parliament stating that His Excellency has gone that far to challenge us to explore various phases of proportional representation. It is up to them, and we are open for that debate. The other issue that came up that we discussed lengthily, and I believe we were able to address, was the issue of the census. I told them that census is not a political tool. Census is a development and governance tool, and that they should not be looking at census essentially from the political lens. Census is a development tool to enable government and people all over the world, and it is mandatory on any government to undertake that. So I encourage them to be part of it and to come on board. They said they have a report that they want to present on Statistics Sierra Leone. That also is something that we discussed lengthily, and I believe they agree with me that we have to look at census essentially as a development and governance tool, not as a political tool. We also spoke about the secretariat that is overseeing the implementation of the ongoing trade reform, which are part of the administrative issues, and we provided solutions how we want to. They spoke about expanding the steering committee, which we agreed, and that there's a need for review of the steering committee. We already agreed that the TOR will stay. We are going to review the mandate, and more importantly, open the steering committee so that we can take into consideration the voices of other political parties and civil society. And then we also agreed that they will propose to the Attorney General to bring in 3 lawyers to be part of a legal team to review what we are doing on electoral reforms. His Excellency, these are the issues that we discussed. We are still working on the communique, and that we agree we have 2 languages. They have 1 language, and we gave them hours. They said they are going for consultation. But I concluded, like I opened up my statement, I concluded my statement by urging the APC to consider going back to governance, so that electoral reform, so that they have the opportunity to be in Parliament and continue the discussions on the ongoing 3 key issues that are outstanding that we are still implementing in the Agreement for National Unity. So this is where we are, Your Excellency. I want to thank you very much.
All right, you're highly welcome back to the Epic Morning Show. That's now be the Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Honorable Mohamed Juliet Jallo. We be talk just last week. Na status where moral guarantors they meet President Bio government for of course brief the president on the progress we don't make so far. We lead the government delegation them for resolve the issues them with the APC. They say the engagement with the APC on behalf of government. The APC and government don't agree for say 5 out of the 8 agreements of national unity recommendations don't be fully implemented, and it say 3 are currently ongoing, and they don't make tremendous progress for resolve those three ongoing recommendations. And they also talk about the issues then with the APC raise we get to do with electoral reforms, and also mentioned say most civil society activists them and the APC recommend for say we need for use the first past the post system. That's now confirmation there from the vice president that most civil society activists them and the APC don't call for government for use the first past the post system in the next elections. And they also say them and the APC don't look at ways for address the issues we get for the census. But let's take this from the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, we be call for the agreement of national unity, and we will talk during a meeting they will then hold with the moral guarantors them.
Vice President for his forensic details of what has transpired since the beginning, because what we are talking about actually started as my own brainchild, as always. I have looked at Sierra Leone not from a political lens, but as a political entity that we should shape for the benefit of Sierra Leoneans, for progress, for development, and for, of course, in an ecosystem of peace. And for all the times I've had to lead, I do so just for the purpose of that. As a young man, I dedicated my life to public life as a soldier. And my contribution, when we came in, it was an authoritarian one-party government by the APC. We struggled, and because we had denied the democracy for 30 good years, we struggled to remove them. And what I left was a democratic dispensation. I did not just leave a democratic dispensation. I left peace in this country by making extraordinary effort to begin the process of resolving a conflict that they have created by their acts, which they still want to continue to do. We will say no to this because we are genuinely committed. I have nowhere else to go in this world that's Sierra Leone, and I don't want to go anywhere else. So that is why they've been unwilling partners, but we will continue. And that is why I thank you for being moral guarantors. It's out of transparency that I called for this process. They did not ask for it. They had 11 years. Nobody spoke about reforming the electoral process that has been so troublesome. And we have had to blame, even in opposition, and they have had to blame. I said, if we are all blaming this system, let's reform it together. And we are so transparent that we called all of you to come and be referees. Thank you for being genuinely involved in this. And it's open, less dialogue. So I thank you, Mr. Vice President, for taking part. You have extensive knowledge about electoral systems, and we have a crop of international moral guarantors who also have know what they want, and they can sit and referee. I just want to say that I assure you and this nation that I have taken an oath, maybe 3 times, to seek the interest, the best interest of this nation, and I will never betray that trust. That is why I'm seated here. I'm happy that I've been given the opportunity to lead West Africa as the chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, and we will continue. It's unfortunate that politics has taken over every aspect. I think we should give the people of this country the opportunity to also make a choice. When we spoke about proportional representation, it is because we've watched the surrounding, political surrounding, and this is the best form of electoral system that will give us peace. We are not doing this for...
Dana President Julius Maada Bio is say the PR system na the best form of electoral process. We say they give Salone a lasting peace, but we still get Honorable Monir in the studio. Honorable, I want to give you a brief overview. What do you make of the activities them of the international moral guarantors them last week?
Yes, I make a lot because one thing we absolutely go on at the fact that they come for do a follow-up on the peace agreement. We born the tripartite recommendation, because when you look at the peace agreement, now 8 stratas you get, as you read from the various speakers them, we then try for make them clear. Say yes, most of them stratas then they don't be accomplished with few we attach. In other words, not to say they not touch all 88, but the few we attach make few of them not totally completed. For instance, we see one party stratas we say APC for stop the waiting, the non-participation in governance. Just halfway gone, we see then they on our back for say yes, we need to continue for go. And when you listen to the moral guarantors, then one thing they make very clear now that they not come engage on new occurrence, but rather for can do a follow-up on the already agreed ones. And that be end up there.
So we make the boycott also a priority for them
at all.
Latest visit.
At all, because like what I say, they've not come to initiate new methods, but rather follow up with the already agreed ones and see how and where there are challenges for them, for advice, for them to get them accomplished.
So what is the advice on?
Well,
I mean, we also listen to the statements then by the leader of the delegation, and it not seem for make any demands from President Bio, from government. Instead, what we see now for commend the president, say Africa needs more leaders than President Julius Maada Bio. But the APC is still crying, and most, as according to the vice president, they say most CSOs also say one other area for do with the PR system. They say they want to Salo use the constituency, the first past the post system. President Bio seem not for listen. The APC and most CSOs.
Not to seem not for listen. One thing where you look at when you're a leader, you look at the general benefit. And President Bio being the president of this country, they look at the general benefit for Sierra Leone. The proportional representation, they come for solve one party interest. The proportional representation, they come for become something good for Sierra Leone, because we no one see Usai will they go into by-election and we get loss of life as it don't use for be. We don't want to see Usai will waste more resources on by-election. We want to see Usai once an election is over, everything is over, we all concentrate into development. Now them parameters they are the proportional representation they do. Let's assume we are in the first past the post from 2023 to now. Me and you go testify, say Honorable Dura don't die, Dandy for don't be a by-election. We all know waiting for don't happen. Because APC for don't make them might, for sure say yes, now we all know it will die, and we get tendency for win and back. While SLPP for say yes, now within our power, then go use all the government apparatus for make sure say, then go make the mark when then things say go either change the current situation.
Excuse me, so the SLPP they use government resources them for win elections.
I don't say the SLPP they use government resources. I say them go use government apparatus because
what do you mean by government apparatus?
Are in power. And when somebody they in power, we all see, for instance, when election be a Kailan, what thing they happen? They enact MacP. We all see where election be a Tonko Limba, they enact MacP. We all see where election be a Swafe Kono. All these are APC errors. Because one thing, we get people away, NIB, they are supportive of the government of the day. For instance, when you say the PCMPs, the PCMPs are always supportive of the government of the day. The police, the military, they have to go by orders, and these orders will be given to them by somebody in higher authority. And when those orders are given, yes, then get a model operandi where they guide the operational parameters. But when it comes to orders, the principle tells you obey the order, and later you can file in whatever. And now that we don't see they happen, especially when it comes to African setting. And in this situation, it's not about that. Like what I say, Honorable Moigwa die na Kenema. We just see a swap. Honorable Abubakar don't come in. Honorable waiting at the woman name. Mariama don't die. We just see Medlands don't come in. Honorable Dura don't die. The other Honorable don't come in.
Yeah, but so, one thing under this PR, we see lots of MPs them they die. Lots of MPs them they die.
No, in fact, the number
it's
minimal.
Not usual.
No, the number minimal.
Compared to those
who
the
one
died
way
during
2023 who they in Parliament, they know how many MPs we lost by the time we complete the term. So it tells you for now almost MPs don't lost.
But then can investigate why we think kill the MPs?
Yes, of course, everybody gets a cause of death. Honorable Dura, all man who seen an accident he get, which was very easy. Honorable Moigwa.
Yeah, but something lead to accident. Investigate what make the accident actually happen.
That could only happen if you get other mystical thoughts. But when it comes to accident, from we know some road authority safety, it can either be rough driving by the driver or mechanical failure.
Right.
Any other way subject to, and you know, say you pull them. We they look at the examinable issues where they cause a road accident.
That's the thing, investigating what caused the road accident. But however, now the honorable, entirely now with the APC, one of the bottleneck in all of the issues them gets for do with the PR system. Well, some APC analysts them go argue for say government, the SLPP thinks say the APC go beat the SLPP in any future elections if we use the first past the post system. And look at the last elections them in 2018, and of course moving to 2023. 2018, by the way, during first president during first term, the APC beat the SLPP in parliament, and the 2023 President Bio used the PR system in the election. So the APC now saying that it will favor them more if they use the first past the post, because it will be against the SLPP. Now that's make President Bio push for PR.
There's an irony from your analysis, because you make a clear say in 2018 we go with waiting first past the post. Who was the leader? The SLPP. Now we form government. Now we win the election. So it tells you even within the first past the post, SLPP get the tendency.
So if it can work for SLPP, why not listen to APC then?
Well, it tells you it has worked for SLPP, it has worked for APC, but we are looking at what works for the country. This time around, it's not for APC, neither SLPP, it's for the country. And when you look at advantages, when you look at the greater advantage, it just feels like way an economist, they do analysis in what we call scale of preference. Scale of preference not tell you say the items they on the scale not important. Within scale of preference, they tell you now that the most out of the rest is prioritized, and waiting at the most out of the rest in this electionary process now waiting at the proportion. So it tells you all other electionary processes are important, but the one good or better or best for the country now waiting now the proportional representation, because of the issues they were outlined. I make them very clear, say every one by election they cost government not less than 2 billion leon. Somebody listening to me might want to ask how. If you look at let's say a constituency where me they represent, we get 11 constituencies centers, and each of them center then they get over 10 polling stations, and then polling station and they each of them get up to 5 NEC officers where they represent. Somebody go and know how them 5 they come. We get ballot paper issuer, we get ballot voter identification, we get ballot box controller. All the one, and the way you put them together, you times them by the number of money where they pay them, coupled with other expenses where they come from ballot paper printing, sample ballot printing, logistics and handling, all done the way you put them together. It's not a smaller money. And me, you know how we still challenge about light, we still challenge about water. We get other demanding issues that we make a government way they think well, even like the APC in 2014, 15, 16, where they do the constitutional review, where na the Justice Kawan. These are issues that came up where it was very clear in the Justice Kawan recommendation. You go to the Pakabaz Peter Tucker's recommendation, it was very clear that we are losing more money in these electionary processes. So I don't know why in this Gen Z era we now the cry for say all the recommendations made before when things were normal and people were reasoning like Sierra Leoneans, we don't recommend this, recommend say let it be the proportional representation. But now in the Gen Z era, people are recommending again to say let it be the first past the post. I don't know what the irony is.
Tell me what the weight with the agreement of national unity gets, because according to the Speaker of Parliament, he say the agreement, not only the agreement, government not only the agreement before Parliament yet. Tell me about the legal backing of the agreement of national unity. Is it just a theater we see they happen with no legal backing from the House?
Like when it comes to lawmaking, Parliament does not deliberate on issues not before Parliament. And me and you go testify, say whenever we enter in any agreement internationally, if that agreement is not domesticated, it never becomes binding on the citizens of Sierra Leone.
Well, it is the fault of governments now for go to a parliament. Governments not go to it.
It's not just the fault of government, because we get what we call the procedural processes. We get who takes an agreement, who takes what to parliament.
What is holding government back?
Well, like I said, it's not anything holding the government back. One thing you need to know, from that agreement gives birth to what we call the constitutional amendment. because recommendations from the agreement were what filtered down into what the constitutional review, the constitutional amendment we did before Parliament. And me and you go agree, say the very APC where they cry, now them back down, kick back this very constitutional amendment we did before Parliament for one or two clauses where then things say not go in their favor, because it's only in Sierra Leone I see opposition making more demands that what we say in opposition should what must happen. But that's not what democracy says. Democracy is government of the majority. And when the majority wins, the decisions of the majority are always prioritized. But in this situation, where they see Usai, the opposition way, not the minority, they always claim or propel their own views, and they want foresee, say, government go by the view. If we take we self back, 2012, for instance, where then tell we say go police, we take we matter to court, because that is the only legal procedure of turning an election result. When we went there, in fact, our files were not open. We were knocked down on what is known as what are procedural errors, because you get what we call the timeline in filing a petition when it comes to electioneering as prescribed by the High Court rules. And when you fail within those timelines, the courts look at and say we don't procedurally breach the line. So what happens? Our files were thrown out. We never fought, we never demanded that APC give we what we want. But what did we do? We went back, we flag bearer then, where now the current president, retired but not tired, Brigadier Julius Madabio, he go and equipped himself the more. And whilst he was away, we were on the ground, softening the ground. By the time we came back for 2018 election, you and I could testify the kind strategies who put in place, the kind methodologies who apply. The very APC they go and hunt, we say waiting, we want for rig election. How can somebody contesting an election rig an election? But we all saw when they went to the house of the president at Juba and ransacking the place with the propelling motive that we get something there, we get tendency for waiting for obstruct the election where they happen, so that we go rig in we favor. But we never did, because what we did was we make ourselves prepared for say every center, every police station we get a representative, and those representatives we are upfront. Once a counting is done, you enter your figure in the phones that we are provided. Bam, it all reach now with tally center. By the time you think of NEC bringing all their results together, all right, we have our results that SLPP has won the 2018 election.
Honorable, just say, let's bring in Honorable Dr. Umfa Sori Beshe Koroma. Honorable Umfa, good morning. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Honorable, take me through the APC them position so far on the activities of the moral guarantors them. Waiting at the stance of the APC, waiting the APC to agree upon after this latest engagement with the international moral guarantors them.
Well, there are a lot of things that we do on the document we get for do with the APC in position and the APC in key demands. And I want to inform you and the listening public, say several engagements that happen over the past few days, from Thursday now, Friday, Saturday, up to yesterday, almost the whole day the engagement that happen. And in a few hours, couple of hours or 2-3, there will be a final briefing of the press on what thing we all agree on both sides, the government and the APC. And I think I think we the public go to see that we don't come back on track with what we get for do with the tripartite and the tripartite recommendations, and we make sure we ensure we get reforms them in ECSL and reforms in our electoral processes, so that complaints and challenges we will experience in the past hopefully will be and stay something in the past and not something that we will revisit again in coming elections. But I also want to make and clear back, say it is not 100% clean to how it will be. But of course, in any dialogue and any negotiations, there's going to be a lot of give and take.
Okay. Honorable, according to the press release where the APC put out, after the meeting we then get with moral guarantors them, the party say that they mobilize, that they make mass mobilization, and this now in a genuine pursuit of, quote, justice and transparency. Is this a threat to the country's peace for the agreement of national unity if the APC's conditions are not met?
The APC will never threaten peace in a country whose we all coexist.
What did the APC mean by mass mobilization?
The APC, I'm sorry?
What did the APC mean by mass mobilization then?
Mobilization, you yourself understand, say it can take different form and shape. Mobilization can take different form of shape depending on what they try for mobilize.
Yeah, because the APC recently don't say, honorable.
Mass mobilization can be a mobilization of people. Mass mobilization can be a mass mobilization of concerted efforts. So you say it's a general term. We will serve for benefit to party, but we will not mass mobilize to create insecurity.
Now the protest.
Of course, as responsible party and responsible people, we always want to see the right thing be done in the interest of this nation. This country need for move forward to do things we will benefit Sierra Leone. And as a nation, we are challenged with a lot of things and confronted with a lot of challenges. So we definitely get a obligation for law and justice. We do all we can to transform this nation. Alone not jealous the country the way they struggle with insecurity. Because there are a lot of nations struggling with insecurity, and at the end of the day, the citizens them will stand for lose in the process, and all of us stand for lose in the process. But what is more important is how we in what manner we lead people operate and organize ourselves.
Okay.
Because sometimes if arrogance they in or any engagement without thinking about the people and when I say people and I talk just the people I talk, but you yourself as a person, if you need to think about the welfare and the long-term welfare of the people then you go stand for do something. We will be so selfish and then at the end of the day risk.
Honorable, if everything
go to this country stand for benefit from.
Honorable, if everything not go well, the next line of action will be protest, as the APC say they're not going to rule out at all.
You say if everything not go well.
According to the APC, then terms them. The next line of action for the party will it be protest?
In all of these engagements have not been in isolation. It has been an engagement with the APC, by the APC, with the government, and by the government. So if we don't come to this point here, it will be insincere for all feel like say things are not go well. We were all day in engagement and all day in the room over the few days we passed till yesterday. I want to say things are going okay. Like I just say it this way, things are not going 100% okay. But any dialogue or negotiation, like give and take, you cannot go in the room and expect to get 100% of what you want. We have to be honest with two people and we have to be honest to the people of this country.
Honorable, when
so say things then go outside the people of this country want for let go. And I think say we as leaders get that responsibility for explaining to them what we don't get out of this after the press briefing.
Honorable, when moral guarantors they meet with the APC leadership at the party office just last week on April 13th, the APC party on April 14th, the APC party National Executive General Lawyer Lansana Doumbia tell guarantors, the moral guarantors, then say the agreement of national unity don't collapse in substance. And the APC is now saying they are currently in engagement with the government and with the international moral guarantors them. If the APC don't say the agreements don't collapse in substance, are these all false hopes which they carry on now? Why go into more engagement if the agreement in itself don't collapse?
If the agreement not be collapsed, the moral guarantors will not have been welcomed or invited to come and mediate. Because the agreement collapsed, now make them there. Because the agreement, parts of the agreement or parts of the agreement and collapse. Now I make APC boycott governance. So if they are there, now for ensure say we get the train back on track. If they are here, now for ensure say waiting we don't fall short or the challenges that we don't begin envisage, we try for see how we iron things out. That's where they are here. That's why we've been engaged in all these few days for see how we get this agreement for national unity back on track. So if over these coming days we don't see say, yeah, we are agreeing on things that will ensure that we get back on track, then I think say the narrative get for change.
Okay, Honorable, according to statements them the briefing we from the Honorable Vice President Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallo, he say after the engagement we lead on behalf of government with the APC that he sort of get an agreement with Una say Una go return back na parliament. Is that the case? Una go return na parliament after this engagement them? When?
If you just say we're not going to return to parliament, then it means say we boycott is only just about returning to parliament, and that's not the case. I know say he says no say not to have the case. We get councils, look at councils across the country. We also they boycott governance. But of course, to be preemptive, once you hear everything and anything that will be said today around 10 o'clock, then you will know and why, and you will see what thing get for happen, and the whole public will know what thing get for happen after that. I no one be preemptive, but I just want to inform you say that things are pretty much almost crossed out, which is the T's and the I's are dotted and crossed. But anything can happen in the next few minutes. We'll go to an hour.
Okay.
So we want for ensure say we keep everybody posted on what thing will be the final outcome of what will be the engagement on over the few days. I think say we owe it to the public for letting get everything from number 1 to number 8 to all the explanations to all the commissions, the mission, all the observations where the mission get to then come and waiting at the final analysis and what we as a party do agree with and agree for disagree with, and eventually once that is said and done, then the public will know what's in the final outcome.
Yeah, Honorable, quickly, according to the APC, then say the meeting with the moral guarantors was substantive and frank, and the leader of the moral guarantors, them we lead this delegation, Her Excellency Fatuma Jallo Tambajang, one of the former VP of the Gambia, be say the guarantors them in entirety we don't call on the APC for return back na parliament, and you now they say una boycott also just for return back almost immediately na parliament. Is that not going define the request made by the people where una think say for help una for resolve issues? Now then they say una for return, please una return back na parliament. You are now saying that is not the way forward, at least not now.
No, I know they say that's not the way forward now. I know they say that, but of course I want to say this, that Her Excellency, in all our engagement, try for advice that will be better for us to be in governance and even fix other things than to be out of governance and see how we can fix things. He also reiterate say or commit say, as we dey go, which in this next stage of this agreement here, as we dey implement them, then will be part of the process. So from the past, we don't see say what will happen. It's like they agree and they believe say everybody go on what they say and do. They don't see back say no, it did not happen that way, and we get timelines and now. Then go ensure say they are part of the process and that they will open the line of communication that anytime we get concerned about what we don't agree on, we can call them, and it is in the document that if there is undue delay, then they will come in. So I'm not saying we are not returning, but I'm just saying let's wait till 10 o'clock so that the public, including you, will get the whole picture of waiting at the outcome.
Before we left
it's important for us to do that.
Before we left you, Honorable, quickly, the the pre-demands of the APC, that Edmond Alpha for resign or then for Pulam as the ECSL commissioner, and also on the issue of PR, the APC be demand before the engagement them that to for move back to the first past the post system, and forget also full briefing on census. Those demands are still intact after this engagement with the moral guarantors them. Are those still the demands from the APC? Edmond Alpha for resign or then for Pulam, and we've also moved back to the first past the post system.
I think it's important fellow agree. Say all of the things we state so were addressed. It is also important that in the process, of course, what you want and how they want for that happen probably will be restructured. But important for let the public know say we are all addressed, and the manner which they feel say it should be done was agreed upon, and it will be seen in the literature of voting at the agreement. And once they read all of them agreement and those who agree for do, then the public will know what's in. They say the devil, you will know the devil in the details.
I don't get them clear.
Anything here right now.
I don't get them clear from you, Honorable.
Not to me, I not for do that day, because we all be there yesterday, and all of that document is still sealed and concealed until we them don't prepare and read them. Then after that, we all go elaborate on that. But if I come and say na so and so, I give you all the details now. It will be unfair, and it will go against what we agree on and agree upon since yesterday.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Umfa Sori Beshe Koroma, for joining us this morning on the Epic Morning Show.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Okay, make I return back to Honorable Muniru. Honorable Muniru from Honorable Umfa on certain issues them where the APC still deal with, and with regards to electoral reforms and census moving forward. Within the stance of the SLPP with regards to the APC then demands them currently, we still they in place even after the engagements them with the moral guarantors.
The law is always the law, and the day we signed to run a democracy is the day we agreed for say it is the law that is supreme and not man. And usa you make the law supreme, it tell you say no man no go change them. And in this situation, I am telling you here that the law has given the current commissioner of NEC the power to run his office and to run the upcoming election. The only two way go change that now either he resigns or he dies. If either of those did not happen, then it will continue for the day until in time done where it go don't conduct the 2028 election, whether they go reinstate them or not. And with regards the APC returning to work, that one I tell you with authority say it's already done. They will be returning to work because it clear say if they not work, absolutely they are not going to be paid for that, because this time around nobody's ready to babysit anybody as it was done before, where then go for over how many months yet government be ready and willing for can pay them. If it continues to happen this time around, government not get them resources there for pay them. And I'm asking on them, this is a plea we are all making because we want to see democracy at work. We want to see we get checks and balances within we House of Parliament. USA not to just be one-sided. So therefore I'm calling on them to join the House of Parliament. I'm calling on them to join council, because it go interesting for no say they stay back. Not they only affect the APC-led councils, but they also affect the SLPP-led councils, because at the end of the day, they also get representatives there within the SLPP-led councils who say if they not return, that checks and balance way for don't deal within the proceedings and processes of the councils not go absolutely be envisaged. And equally so within Parliament, we no one see the other side of the seat empty, though yes, we still get two representatives there. Wait till you say APC not left totally, because Mohamed Bangoa and the other one still there. So it tells you there are still representatives within the House of Parliament representing the All People's Congress. Now like way in the military, would they say you get a key. So they have keys in the house, and their keys are
All right.
updating them absolutely.
Honorable,
And
quickly.
they still they monitor the proceedings of Parliament. If you follow, there was a time, in fact, where Parliament was going on. You see AKK and others were monitoring parliamentary sitting online. So it tells you they really want to be abreast with the happenings of Parliament, so that when they come back, they will not be left out in whatever deliberation.
So you think say the APC they just find way for it on? They want for it on, but they just
Yeah,
defend
the
way
while
for
they
it
make
on.
like say they beg them. Now that is one of the secrets what they tell you.
Okay, but quickly, the Vice President say 5 out of the 8 recommendations them in the Agreement of National Unity don't be fully resolved, and it say na 3 don't left where they don't make tremendous progress in. We get to do with the census and electoral reforms them. Those are the main issues then will lead to the crisis after the 2023 elections. So clearly now, waiting we don't see that government don't they push for resolve the minimal parts them of the Agreement of National Unity, but the critical areas them still left unresolved 2 years into elections.
Not to say they left unresolved. We get the one the way before saying are processes. For instance, as long as statistics Sierra Leone conduct census yet, it tells you whatever recommendation leading to that part will only be completed when census is held. Now I make waiting they happen. I wish APC for on there then go tell you say then get representative them who say honorable AKK what they say lawyer AKK now part of the one the way they represent APC inside waiting statistics Sierra Leone. So every step where statistics they take for make sure say then get credible data way not to for inform political party activity, but we go gear towards the development of this country, then contribute by their participation. So that one, like where the Vice President said, these were part of the recommendation, and not mean say the steps where they for take they not take it, but until then they complete, now you will see say that recommendation they don't complete. But as at the moment, I tell you with authority say the APC get full rep inside statistics, and no meeting no day where statistics don't hold where APC not get representation.
So why government then not hold the census last year in 2025, or let's say even this year in 2026, early 2026? We don't see actually happen, but they move until